Hey beautiful, welcome back. Or if this is your first time here, welcome to the place where your confidence gets a glow up, your texting game becomes irresistible, and your love life finally starts feeling less like a confusing riddle and more like a delicious adventure. I'm so glad you're here. Now let's get real for a second. Have you ever sat there staring at your phone, knowing exactly who you want to text, fingers hovering over the keyboard, and you're just thinking, okay, how do I not sound too eager or too dry or too Netflix and chilly, right? Because one wrong emoji and suddenly you're in ghost town, population U, we've all been there. That weird limbo between wanting to be sexy and playful but not wanting to come off like you're trying too hard. You want to grab his attention but in a way that keeps him coming back for more. The truth is, texting a guy isn't just communication anymore. It's strategy. It's the digital version of a slow dance. Every word, every punctuation mark, it's got rhythm, tease, and a little mystery. So today, we're diving into 9 sexy texts that will make him not just reply, but fantasize about you. These are not your average wide messages. Oh no. These are the kind of texts that make him sit up, adjust himself in his chair, and suddenly feel the need to see you ace. And don't worry, this isn't about being raunchy or over the top. It's about activating his mind just as much as his body. Because when you get into his thoughts, when you plant that subtle seed of intrigue, that's when he starts missing you, craving you, and wanting you like crazy. Now, disclaimer, please use these texts responsibly. Side effects may include increased desire, unexpected video calls, and texts that say, "You up?" at 2 a.m. All right, grab your phone, open that chat, and let's turn your texting into an obsession. If you were here right now, I'd be in trouble. This text is playful, mysterious, and incredibly enticing. You're not being explicit, but you're suggesting something exciting, which is exactly what makes it so effective. By saying, "I'd be in trouble," you're creating a sense of intrigue and curiosity in his mind. You're giving him just enough to get his imagination running without laying everything out there. What makes this text so powerful is the subtle suggestion. You're hinting at something more intimate, yet you're not fully revealing your cards. The key is that you're teasing him, leaving room for him to wonder, what kind of trouble? It's flirtatious and it's a little bit naughty, but all in a light, fun way. You're inviting him to imagine all sorts of scenarios, and that mystery alone is enough to drive him wild. And let's talk about that cheeky wink emoji. It's not just a cute add-on, it's a game changer. It signals that you're playful and confident, showing you're not afraid to have a little fun with him. It's a gentle push that lets him know you're serious about the tease without pushing too hard. Plus, it adds a light-hearted, fun energy to the text, which makes it feel natural and spontaneous rather than forced. The beauty of this message is that you're flipping the power dynamic. You're not outright saying anything about being intimate or wanting something from him. Instead, you're implying that you might be the one getting into trouble because of him. It's flattering for him, boosts his ego, and makes him feel wanted. You're not saying, "I want you." You're saying, "You could get me into trouble." And that's far more intriguing. So send this text when you want to spark that fun, flirty energy. It's light, it's teasing, and most importantly, it makes him want to know what happens next. When you send a message like, "I can't stop thinking about the way you touched me last time," you're turning up the heat in a way that's subtle yet powerful. It's an intimate message that taps directly into his emotions and desire. What makes this text irresistible is the vulnerability and playfulness it conveys. It's not just about the physical act of touch, it's about the feeling it gave you. You're making him realize that he has the power to make you feel something so intense that you can't shake it. The moment becomes unforgettable for both of you, and this text is the perfect reminder of that connection. It shows that you're thinking about him in a way that goes beyond casual or just checking in. You're getting into the depth of what his touch made you feel, which adds a layer of emotional and physical attraction. The best part? You're not asking for anything. You're simply reminding him of a moment that made you feel incredible, and by doing so, you're making him want to make you feel that way again. This type of message stirs up curiosity and makes him wonder how he can repeat that experience. It leaves him thinking about you, replaying that touch in his mind, which makes him crave being with you even more. By sending this kind of text, you're telling him that his affection left a lasting impression. It doesn't just make him feel good about himself, it strengthens the emotional connection. Men love knowing they've made an impact, especially when it's something as personal as a physical touch that's meaningful to you. It's a perfect way to flirt without being overly explicit, and it gives him the green light to start a conversation about how you can create those kinds of moments together again. You're drawing him in, getting him to think about you and what you share in a way that leaves him craving more. It's an invitation to deeper connection while maintaining the fun and excitement of that initial chemistry. And who doesn't love a bit of playful teasing that makes them want to prove they can make you feel that way all over again? This text is like planting a seed of desire, letting it grow into something even more powerful the next time you're together. Imagine sending a message that reads, "I had a dream about you last night. Should I tell you what happened?" That's the kind of text that instantly grabs his attention. It's playful, mysterious, and let's be honest, irresistible. Right from the start, you've got him curious, wondering what dream you're talking about and what kind of details you're about to reveal. It immediately sparks his imagination and gets him thinking about you in a more intimate and sensual way. This text works so well because it opens the door to a conversation that's full of possibility. You've got him wondering if you're going to share something sweet, something funny, or something a little more provocative. The uncertainty makes it fun. It's a teasing invitation that's not too forward, but still incredibly effective in piquing his interest. When you tell him that you dreamt about him, you're letting him know that he's been on your mind, even when you're asleep. It's a subtle compliment that makes him feel desired and wanted. And honestly, who doesn't love that feeling? But here's the magic. You don't immediately reveal everything. By leaving it open-ended, you're giving him the chance to ask more questions. And in doing so, you're putting the ball in his court. It's a power move, but one that feels lighthearted and playful rather than manipulative. The mystery behind what happened in the dream also gives him the chance to picture himself in the scenario. It fuels his curiosity and stokes his desire to know more. It's like an invitation to step into your world, even if it's just for a fun, flirtatious conversation. It creates a moment of connection between the two of you, and with every word, you keep him hooked. What makes this text so compelling is the intimacy it implies. Dreams are personal, and when you share something like that, you're opening up a space for more emotional closeness and physical chemistry. It's not just about the dream itself, it's about the fact that you were thinking about him in a way that was private and intimate. You're sharing something that's special, something that wasn't just a passing thought. It shows that you value him, and you're letting him know that you're comfortable enough with him to invite him into your inner world. And here's the kicker, this text doesn't need to be followed by an immediate reveal. You can keep him on his toes a little longer, letting him stew in the anticipation of what's to come. This builds suspense, and trust me, it will only make him more eager to know the details. The more curious he becomes, the more invested he'll be in the conversation. It's a perfect opportunity to build a deeper connection while keeping the excitement high. When he asks what happened in the dream, you can choose to tell him something playful, something sweet, or something a little naughty. It's up to you to decide how much you want to tease him, but either way, this text opens the door for more flirtation and leaves him craving more of your attention. You have no idea what you do to me. Now, that is a text that sends shivers down a man's spine in the best possible way. Why? Because it's vague, it's intriguing, and it hits him straight in the ego and the imagination. It's the kind of line that doesn't just sit in his inbox, it echoes in his mind. He starts wondering, what exactly do I do to her? And suddenly, you've planted a thought in his head that won't let go. This line works because it blends sensuality with mystery. It tells him that he's having an effect on you, a powerful, possibly uncontrollable effect, but it doesn't spell out exactly what that is. That little gap between the message and the meaning, that's where the magic happens. That's where his mind fills in the blanks with all the possibilities, and chances are they're going to lean toward the sexy side. What makes it even more effective is that it taps into a man's desire to please, to be wanted, and to feel like he's turning you on without even trying. It's one thing to say you're hot or I'm into you, but when you say you have no idea what you do to me, you're letting him know he's affecting you on a deeper level. He's having an impact on your body, your emotions, and your thoughts. And he doesn't even know the full extent of it yet. That's intoxicating for a guy. That kind of validation is gold. And let's talk about tone. This isn't something you say when you're listing groceries or talking about your day. This line oozes heat. You can send it completely out of the blue or in response to something sweet or sexy he said. Either way, it makes him feel like he's got this irresistible power over you. And trust me, there's nothing more attractive to a man than knowing he's driving you wild without even trying. What's even better is how this text gives you flexibility. You can follow it up with a playful tease like, "and I'm not telling you yet," Or you can build the suspense by leaving it there and letting his imagination spiral. Either way, you're in control of the pace. You've given him just enough to keep him hooked and craving more. This is the kind of message that lingers. It makes him smile to himself, glance back at his phone later, and maybe even start crafting a reply that matches your energy. Whether you're building up to a steamy moment, creating emotional connection, or simply adding heat to your everyday conversation, this line is a master move. It's sexy, subtle, and completely disarming. And most importantly, it makes him feel something. That's the goal. To leave a mark, to stir emotion, and to make sure that at the end of the day, you are the one he can't stop thinking about. I just bought new lingerie. Thought you should know. Now this is the kind of message that stops a man dead in his tracks. It's short, it's sweet, and it is powerful. Why? Because it drops just enough of a visual bomb to make his mind go wild while still keeping it playful and innocent. Well, innocent enough. That little angel emoji, that's your wink. That's your way of saying, I know exactly what I'm doing while pretending you don't. This kind of message hits differently because it's suggestive without being explicit. It gives him just a taste. He doesn't know what the lingerie looks like. Is it red, lacy, silk? Is it barely there or just barely enough? He doesn't know. And that's what drives him insane. You've handed him the match and walked away while his imagination lights the fire. It's seductive in a way that feels confident, effortless, and a little cheeky. You're not begging for attention. You're not sending a photo or spelling everything out. You're simply planting the thought and then stepping back, letting him come to you with all the questions he now has running through his mind. That mystery, that's your secret weapon, and what makes it even sexier is the implication behind it. You bought this lingerie thinking about him. He's the reason it's sitting in your drawer. Whether you're planning to wear it for him tomorrow or next week or maybe never, he now knows he lives rent-free in your thoughts. You've tied his name to a sultry little secret you're keeping to yourself. For now. Men are visual creatures, yes, but they're also responsive to suggestion, to the thrill of what if. This message is like a mental tease. It pulls him in, makes him wonder what else you're not telling him, and keeps you in his thoughts well beyond the moment he reads it. The genius of this line is in its duality. It's sexy, but it's also light. You're not crossing boundaries, you're flirting. Just enough. It's the kind of message that gives him that little jolt of excitement during his workday or keeps him smiling during a night out with his friends. He's distracted now and he likes it. And let's be honest, confidence is magnetic. The kind of woman who says, I just bought new lingerie, thought you should know, is the kind of woman who knows her worth. She knows what she brings to the table, and she's not afraid to playfully remind him of it. So if you're looking for a line that strikes the perfect balance between sweet and spicy, this one is it. It's confident, it's flirty, and it's impossible to ignore. And the best part? It leaves him wanting more. You have the most dangerous hands. Now that, right there, that's not just a compliment. It's an invitation to his ego, his desire, and his imagination, all wrapped up in one delicious sentence. When you say this to a man, you're not just praising him. You're telling him you remember. You remember what those hands did, where they went, how they made you feel. And he knows you're not just talking about handshakes or high fives here. Oh no, this is personal. There's something irresistibly sexy about this kind of message. It's specific, it's intimate, and it's got that double meaning that makes his mind run wild. Because dangerous, that's not accidental. That word lights him up. It says he made you lose control, that his touch left an impression, maybe even a mark, and that you're still thinking about it. You've tied his physical presence to emotional impact, and that's where the real chemistry starts to burn. And the magic of this line is that it takes something as simple as his hands, something he probably never even thought twice about, and suddenly makes it the hottest thing on the planet. It boosts his confidence in the most primal way. He starts to think about what he did with them that made you say that, or maybe what he could do. That kind of imagination spiral, it's your secret weapon. It also gives him a little rush of masculine pride, because to a man, there's something incredibly seductive about knowing he has that kind of power over you, that his touch is memorable, dangerous, addictive. You've just told him in the most subtle but sexy way that he left his mark. And let's be honest, that's what every man wants to know, that he stands out, that he had an effect on you, that he's not forgettable. This line is also smart because it's teasing without being too obvious. You're not going over the top or laying it all out. You're planting a delicious little seed in his head, one that grows the longer he thinks about it. You're saying you have dangerous hands, but what you're really saying is, I want to feel them again. So when you drop this line, be ready, because it's not the kind of thing that just gets left on read. This is the kind of message that makes a man pause, smirk, and instantly want more. It's playful, sexy, and full of memory and meaning. And most of all, it's you in control, making him feel powerful without giving everything away. And trust me, once he reads that text, those dangerous hands will be itching to get back to work. Being around you makes it so hard to behave. Now that is the kind of message that practically melts off the screen. It's the verbal equivalent of brushing your lips just close enough to his ear that he gets goosebumps. Why? Because it's not just flirty, it's dangerous in the best way. You're telling him that he brings out the side of you that isn't so sweet and innocent, and every man wants to feel like he unlocks the version of you no one else gets to see. This line works on so many levels. First off, it's a compliment. You're saying he's tempting, magnetic even. He doesn't just make your heart flutter, he makes your self-control flicker, but it's also playful, which keeps it from feeling too heavy or over the top. You're giving him a taste of your wild side without handing over the full dessert menu. It gives him the rush of knowing that he has an effect on you. And not just any effect, the kind that makes you feel a little reckless, a little impulsive, a little naughty. That's gold for a man's confidence. Because, let's be real, a guy doesn't just want to feel attractive, he wants to feel irresistible. And when you say being around him makes it hard to behave, you're basically saying, you don't even have to try, your presence alone drives me crazy. And then there's the suggestion, the promise between the lines, because this text doesn't say what you're doing. It doesn't say how or when or where you're misbehaving. It leaves room for the imagination. And that's the fun part. Let him fill in the blanks. Let him wonder what you mean. Is it the way you look at him across the room? The way your hand lingers just a second too long? Or is it the things you want to do but haven't yet? You're flipping the script. You're not asking for attention, you're commanding it. You're showing him that you're confident enough to own your attraction without chasing. You're hinting at desire without handing it over. And that balance, that tension, is what creates real chemistry. And the best part? This line opens the door for flirty back and forth. He'll want to play. He'll tease back. He might even challenge you. What would you do if you didn't behave? And that's when the sparks fly, because now you've got his full attention and he's not just thinking about you, he's fantasizing. So next time you feel that electric pull with someone, that charged moment where your thoughts drift a little left of innocent, drop this line. Let him know he's your favorite bad influence. And watch how quickly things heat up. Stop being so hot, I have things to do. Now that is the kind of text that makes a man pause whatever he's doing and smile at his screen like an idiot. Why? Because it hits that perfect balance between playful teasing, subtle praise, and just enough frustration to make it ridiculously attractive. It's not, I miss you, and it's not, you're sexy, it's, you're so hot it's becoming a problem and I love it. This line works because it's dripping with flirtation without trying too hard. You're not coming on strong, you're pretending like you're annoyed, which makes it 10 times more fun. You're basically saying, you're distracting me and I can't even be mad about it. That's charming, it shows your sense of humor, it's bold but not overbearing, and more importantly, it strokes his ego in the most irresistible way. Men love to feel like they're wanted, not just emotionally but physically. This line tells him that his looks are not just attractive, they're interfering with your day. That's some next level complimenting. And when you deliver it with that fake pouty face emoji, it's like winking through the phone. You're telling him, I'm trying to get things done, but then I thought of you. And well, there went my productivity. And here's the kicker. It invites playfulness back. This line is a soft pitch for banter. He'll probably respond with something like, I can't help it, or guess I'll have to keep being a distraction. And just like that, you're in a full-blown flirty exchange. This is how attraction builds in a fun, pressure-free way. No declarations of love, no serious vulnerability, just two people teasing each other in a way that gets hearts racing. The genius behind this line is that it shows confidence. You're not afraid to flirt, you're not afraid to call him out for being sexy, but you also don't make it heavy or awkward. You keep it light, sassy, and in control. You're the one dropping the compliment, but you're also the one saying, all right, cut it out, I've got stuff to do. That independence, that sass, that's sexy all on its own. So if you ever want to shoot him a message, that instantly boosts his ego, keeps the energy playful, and reminds him just how much space he's taking up in your mind, send this one. It's simple, it's witty, and it works like a charm. He'll be thinking about you for the rest of the day and probably trying to be even more of a problem the next time he sees you. I want you to kiss me, but not on the lips. Now that is a text that turns the temperature up without saying too much. It's the kind of message that makes him sit up, reread it, and wonder, wait, where then? It's suggestive, it's fun, and it leaves his mind absolutely spinning in the best way possible. Let's break down why this one works like magic. First, it taps into curiosity. Men love a little mystery, and this line doesn't give everything away. In fact, it gives nothing away, and that's exactly the point. It invites his imagination to do the work. And you know what happens when his imagination gets involved? He starts thinking about you in all the ways that keep him hooked. You're not being explicit, you're being suggestive, and suggestive is way sexier. You're putting out just enough bait to reel him in and then leaving him to wonder what you really mean. Is it your neck, your shoulder, that little spot behind your ear that, drives him crazy? Or maybe it's your cheek, something sweet that still makes him want more. Whatever it is, he doesn't know, and that not knowing is what makes him crave it more. There's also a clever little element of control in this line. You're guiding the interaction, but you're doing it with subtlety. You're not saying, kiss me now. You're saying, I want it, but not there. It's a gentle boundary that still feels sexy. It's like you're setting the rules of the game, and now he's dying to play by them. It puts you in the position of power. And trust me, confident women who flirt while staying in control, that's the fantasy. Now let's talk about the tone. It's soft, it's sultry, and it hints at physical closeness, but it also lets him know you're thinking about him in that way. You're not just sending a hey or a what's up. You're creating a whole mood, a moment. You're letting him know that he's occupying a certain kind of real estate in your mind, and not just any space, the one that makes your heart race a little. And the beauty of this line is that it opens the door for him to escalate respectfully. He might flirt back, ask you where, or tease you in return. And now you've got this delicious little back and forth going, the kind that builds tension, the good kind. The kind that makes him look at his phone and smile. The kind that makes him check in just to keep the energy going. And the next time you see him in person, you can bet he's going to remember this text. In fact, he might spend the entire time wondering if he can kiss you on the lips now, or if you're still keeping him guessing. This kind of playful tease wrapped in charm and confidence is what creates chemistry before anything physical even happens. It's communication that excites. It shows that you're fun, bold, and incredibly aware of your own allure. You're not throwing yourself at him, you're inviting him into the mystery, one kiss at a time. So next time you want to flirt in a way that lingers in his mind for hours or days, send this one. Simple, sexy, and unforgettable. And there you have it. One little sentence that can make a huge impact. It's playful, confident, and leaves him wanting more. Exactly how good flirting should feel. So don't be afraid to take the lead and have a little fun with it. Trust me, it's these moments that stay with him. If you love this and want more ways to spark real connection and chemistry, make sure to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below telling me which flirty text you would send. Let's keep the conversation going. Your next move might just be your most magnetic yet.